Welcome back to Bean Gaming. I have a fun and exciting tag team extravaganza for everyone today. Let's go back to our backpack, check out our heroes, and we're going to search for Freeze, Mr. Freeze. We're going to go ahead and view him. There's a lot of people that have him. He's the 1% from the Permafrost Urns, and take a look. He is a mythic, and speed is kind of slow. He starts off with 5 seconds that he attacks, and then his range starts at 20, goes to 24, and then his speed ups to about 0.4. But the cool thing about Mr. Freeze, the mythic, is that he freezes the target. That's absolutely insane. But what's actually interesting is that there's only one placement for Mr. Freeze. So, the other thing, I have a couple shoutouts today. The first one is going to go to my friend Gnome, King Gnome. He ended up hooking me up with the Frostbite Shiny. Now you probably say, well, look at this. There's 4,000 that exist. Really big deal. Well, he sent me a screenshot. He got the first Frostbite. So that was absolutely super nice of him to send that my way. Thank you, King Gnome, for that. And then I had another friend send me the Shiny Frosty, and that was Murad King. So thank you so much for sending that Shiny. I did end up getting another Shiny Frosty, but it doesn't matter. I appreciate everyone that wants to give me a shiny and and looking out for me. So I appreciate that and wanted to give those two friends a shout out for sure. So we're going to take a look at Mr. Freeze today and his tag team partner Frostbite. What's interesting, if you take a look at regular Frostbite, if we go ahead and view him, it says it causes slowness. Alright, well that's cool. If you put slowness with the freeze, then, I mean, you have to be pretty OP. Well, maybe. We'll see. But if you take a look at the shiny version of Frostbite, we'll go ahead and view him. It says 15% damage versus spiders. Now, I mean, is that a mistake? I'm thinking probably going to be a mistake, because if you take a look at the stats, they're all the exact same, except with that 25% boost. So we're going to find out if this 15% damage is a mistake, if it causes slowness, what the heck is going on, and the best way to do that is hop into Endless. We're going to go check this out and go from there. So I will see everyone in game. What's interesting is that I ran this video back once I was done editing it, and I realized something just wasn't right. And if you take a look, I have Shiny Frostbite equipped, and he's not causing any slowness whatsoever. If he did, it would say slow above the enemy's head. And I was like, hang on a second, what's going on with that? It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I watched a few more waves go by, and then I noticed something else too. If you look, Frostbite actually is doing nothing to any of these Gingerbread Men. Look, he's attacking, but he's not doing anything. It's my Lucifers in the background that are causing all the damage. So Frostbite is essentially, I mean, is it bugged? It has to be, right? Look at this. He's just putting his sword right through him, and nothing is... Well, he did do a couple damage there. Look at this. He's doing some damage. So it looks like he's attacking the Gingerbread Man. That seemed to work out fine, but he's doing some damage to some enemies, and some damage to none of the enemies. And so I ended up swapping out my shiny Frostbite for the traditional one, the non-shiny. And it was the same kind of deal. I noticed that, okay, he is doing some attack here, and then now he's actually causing slowness. So I was like, okay, that's cool. We have things working out just fine now. And so I ended up placing a bunch of my Frostbites down. And then I'm like, all right, let's get into Mr. Freeze here. So Mr. Freeze starts out at attacking once every, well, I shouldn't say attacking, freezing one every 5 seconds. And he's actually really cool. But when I rewatched the video, I noticed something was actually happening that I don't know if it was supposed to happen. And we're going to see that in just a moment here. We're going to let another wave run on by as I do another upgrade or two to Mr. Freeze. And we're on tier 5. And if you notice, he does freeze some of these enemies. Let's see if we can get a nice shot of this now. But the enemies that he freezes are not taking, well, hang on. Let me make sure that we get a good picture here. See, if you notice, he's freezing right now, and he does do burn damage, so he's taken off 100 from their health, but my Frostbites aren't doing anything to the frozen enemies. Look at this, they're just standing there. It looks like they're attacking, but they're actually not doing any damage whatsoever. So it seems like there's multiple bugs that are going on here. Look at this, my Frostbite it's just not happening. I know there's a mob of enemies coming out, and so they're attacking different enemies. But eventually you'll see, like right here, see, look at that. There's no... He's just... That ballerina is just taking the bird damage, but nothing from my Frostbites. So in essence, it seems like Frostbite is actually not helping my team at all. Unless he gets to Lucifer. Now, Lucifer will take him out. But when you combine Freeze with Frostbite, it's a hot mess. And now look, this Gingerbread Man is taking no damage at all from my Frostbites. Why was the earlier Gingerbread Man taking damage, but this Gingerbread Man isn't? I can't figure that out. And I'm not even sure. Does Frostbite only attack certain enemies? I really have no idea. It's baffling me right now that that's the case. And maybe you figured it out, but I haven't just yet. So earlier, Shiny Frostbite wasn't doing anything whatsoever. Was doing 0 damage and 0 slowing. And then, the Frostbite that I'm using now, the Pure Frostbite, non-shiny, it was doing some damage to certain enemies, but then some enemies not doing anything at all. Like, look at those Gingerbread Man on the right-hand side of the screen. Not taking any damage. Nothing. So is this a Frostbite bug that's going on here? We need to get to the bottom of this. If a developer is watching, you got to let me know if that's something that maybe I'm missing. I'm not really sure. I can't tell you one way or the other. And those Gingerbread Man aren't even slowing down, which is really weird. So does it only apply to certain enemies? I wouldn't think so, but maybe it is. That's where I need everyone's help. You're going to have to let me know if I'm missing something or not. So I think we're going to end the video there because the showcase is done. Frostbite isn't doing anything, and Mr. Freeze is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So the tag team of Frost and Freeze, I'm going to say it's a thumbs down. But Frost on his own, or I'm sorry, Freeze, there's too many F's. Freeze on his own actually might be beneficial for your team. Because once you max him out, then he is freezing enemies every 2.5 seconds. And if you can hoard him up like that, you get a nice area of effect hero. That's gonna help out quite a bit. So I'm gonna do some more testing. I'm gonna play around with Mr. Freeze and see if he can help my team at all. Only one placement. I would hope that maybe the developers would consider maybe doing 2 or 3 in the future. I don't know. We'll find out. There's always room for improvement, or always room for updates or changes. So we'll see what they decide to do. But either way, I do appreciate you watching this video. And if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!